Cutelaba versus Nzechukwu.
Wait a second. Wait a second. That wasn't the main event that was on the poster.
I know. So true story. Last night, I go through and I get home really late. Right,
Yeah.
it's the busiest time of the year for me. I get home really late. I'm like, ah, shit, I still gotta watch these fights. I put the fights on. I'm like, where the hell's the Derek Lewis fight?
Yeah.
And so like I'm flipping through. I was like, okay, let me close out ESPN Plus. Let me open it up against
Like,
something's
man,
on.
ESPN app sucks, dude. You can never
Yeah,
find what you're looking for.
damn you, Disney. And I'm like going off, and then finally I'm like, actually, Mindy, my wife's the one that was like, well, let me Google it real quick. She's like, oh, it was called off like midway through the card, and I was like,
Yeah.
what? What? So Derek Lewis comes down with an illness.
Yeah. And then he
You
came
know what
back.
happened?
He came back to the event and was like, I'm good. Let's make it happen. And they're like, what? No, we can't. You can't do that.
Oh my god.
So who knows? I don't know. I haven't heard much. I would imagine it's something with his back because that's what is always the issue. They said illness, but they're vague about it. So who knows? I have no clue.
Maybe it was a weight cut because they were saying that he had
Maybe.
cut weight. I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows?
There hasn't been very much clarity. I was looking or trying to search for information today, and I still didn't find very much other than just an illness.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
I
too
couldn't find
sick with
anything.
it. You know what I mean?
Too sick with it.
All
Yeah.
right. Sorry. All right. We'll move on. Hey, Rich didn't have any little special effects in the background. I'm sad. All right, but Cutelaba versus
He wasn't ready
Nzechukwu was
for that
what
joke,
took.
man.
Nobody was. But that's the fight that took the main event slot was Cutelaba versus Nzechukwu. And look, I enjoy watching Cutelaba fight. He's my boy.
Hey, man. Win or lose, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna go down.
Yeah. And this fight, it's like, okay, Nzechukwu is famous for just at the beginning of fights shelling up and just catching punches. People get to swing wild on him because he just kind of shells up against the fence. And it's like, okay, it's a coin flip of does he survive this? Because if he does, he'll probably walk you down and finish you. But then
Yep.
sometimes he just crumbles in that moment. And with Cutelaba, it's like, man, if he survives the barrage, it's like they're the opposite fighters, basically. And Nzechukwu
Yeah.
shells up and either weathers the barrage and comes back and wins, or he crumbles to it, versus Cutelaba, who is the flip side, where he is the barrage, and people either weather the storm or they crumble. But if they weather the storm, he's gassed and it's a wrap. So it's like, which
Yeah.
one are we going to get?
Cutelaba, he's such a trip, man, because he gets me every time. He gets me
Yeah.
every time because, he comes out, and he lands some solid shots on Nzechukwu that
Yeah.
first round. They both traded
Mhm.
a little bit in the first round, which I was surprised
Nzechukwu
because Nzechukwu was a little more active in the first than he
found his
usually
range
is.
immediately. He landed a 1-2
Yeah.
in like the first time, like first
And
exchange.
so Cutelaba lands a couple shots, and Nzechukwu's long. He reminds me of like a John Jones build.
Yeah. But
Very
like a
lanky,
but like a Sam Alvey arm punching style almost.
yeah. And so, Cutelaba
No
lands a couple
disrespect.
shots himself, and then he starts clinching him up against Cage. I was like, hey, that's the perfect way to take away the range from somebody. That's perfect, Cutelaba. And then he gets caught, and then he starts swinging wildly, throwing back fists,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, it's the same Cutelaba.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. And
Yeah.
he starts just wide punches, and
Says,
like
don't tempt
he
me with a
gets
good
caught.
time.
Yeah, he gets caught and he's backing up, and as he's backing up, he just spinning back fists and misses
Yeah.
completely and leaves himself open. And then Nzechukwu comes in calculated. I'm like, oh, Cutelaba, he's so silly. I enjoy
Yeah.
watching him fight, though. I really do. That
Yeah.
second round, though.
Well, Nzechukwu made the read in that
Yes.
second round. And the read is, oh yeah, Cutelaba, it's still the same Cutelaba who's
Yeah.
gonna come in and swing wild. He's gonna come at you with wide looping shots, which if they land, are dangerous, obviously. And he does
Yep.
he does land them pretty
He's got
often.
power. He's got power.
Yeah, but Nzechukwu said, I'm like 10 feet taller than you. I'm just gonna catch you coming in with these knees over and over
Clean.
and over again. The first one,
Yeah.
almost illegal.
Close.
It looked because he caught him as he shot, and it looked
Mhm.
like the takedown, right, where you the knee bump and then you slide, right. And I was like, was
Mhm.
his knee down? And none of the replays, the live shot, everything was cut
Yeah.
off, so I couldn't
They're
tell.
like, let's
But no one
not show
complained.
this.
Yeah, no one complained, so I would imagine it was legal. But that caught him right away, and then he just kept throwing it and kept landing it like 4 more times.
Dude, that's one of the worst things about Cutelaba, but also one of the best things about Cutelaba as a fan
Yeah,
because like he's
because it's
just so much
fun.
fun to watch, man.
Yeah,
But man, like you said, the length of Nzechukwu or the fact that he's so much bigger. Because on that second time that he's coming in, he hits him with that. I don't even really want to say like a flying knee because he didn't really have to
it's just like
fly
a
very
step
much.
in knee. Yeah,
Yeah, step in knee and catches him square on the jaw. And I was like, God damn, man, that's tough for Cutelaba. I know it's just too much for him to recover. The one thing I did want to say about Nzechukwu is that his fight IQ at that point, right? Because he has Cutelaba rocked at a point, and
Mhm.
Cutelaba, and I also think this was a little bit on purpose, kind of hits him on the nuts a little bit,
Oh
like to
yeah,
try to buy himself a little more time. And
got some
Nzechukwu
time.
steps back, adjusts the cup and says, "Let's go," because he
Let's go.
knows,
I
hey,
know
I
he's
have the
hurt.
momentum right now. I know I
Yeah,
got him hurt. So that was awesome. I thought that was very smart.
yeah. Shout out Andrew Toasty MMA coming in, joining the
Hey,
show. Like I said, go
Toast, you
back and watch
missed
the
it. I
video
already
we
gave you
just
a
posted
shout
with
out,
him.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gave you a
but
shout out for covering.
one thing that Nzechukwu was doing too is they were switching. He was switching stances where anytime they were in the open stance, he threw that step in knee. He didn't throw it like straight at him. He threw it kind of like across his own body.
Mhm.
Because if you saw it, Cutelaba was leaning out to throw to throw his own shots. Because if he threw it straight in, he would have slipped the knee every time. But he was
Mhm.
throwing it like across his own body, which looked super interesting. Yeah, and it kept catching him and like turning his head. The shot on the thumbnail is from behind Cutelaba, and the knee comes up, and you can see from behind his face, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And then
And that's why I said it caught him square on the jaw. Because usually with that, like you said, straight in knee, it's usually like on the forehead. And
or
in
he
this
ducks
case, it
out of
was
it
just
in
like
his own throat. Yeah,
it was
you
awesome.
know. And then once he did have him hurt up against the fence there, the switch to the punches and the right punches. He didn't just start
Mm.
swinging wild. He started throwing uppercuts. He started like position first where he was able to land a couple more shots. Impressive by Nzechukwu in this one.
Which again, fight IQ. We continue seeing Nzechukwu, his fight IQ improving fight after fight.
He stays
Uh,
really calm. That's the thing I've noticed with him is because remember he fought was he the one that fought Olberg in Olberg's debut?
I can't remember. Let me
Yes.
check real
Yes,
quick. It
it was.
was.
So Olberg was the same thing. He was
Yep,
battering
it
Nzechukwu,
was him. Yeah.
just clipping him every time he threw, and then he weathered it and just stayed calm under fire. He's fighting Izzy's guy. He's fighting this dude who looks like a fucking linebacker at light heavyweight, and he was getting clipped, but he stayed calm, and everyone instead was like, "Man, Olberg is trash, dude. It's another one of Izzy's guys getting hyped up." I think it's just
It was
Nzechukwu is much better than
Nzechukwu.
people think. Yeah, and we've
Yeah,
seen
and
Olberg
he
since
continues
then.
working with Saif Saud,
Yeah,
which is a fantastic coach. And as
yeah.
more time passes, we're seeing more people come out of Fortis
Mhm.
that they're solid, man. He's an excellent coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got 3 losses in the UFC, and they're all against pretty decent guys. You know,
Yeah,
so I like him. He's fun to watch. Is he
not
going
as
to
fun
be
as
in the main?
Cutelaba.
Is he going to be in a main event again in this one? After this one, probably not.
Hey, you know what, man? Just take your shot when you get it. And I think
Exactly.
that for
Hey, and
him having the
that's
lights
what he
on
did,
him, he finished him.
and in spectacular fashion too, and came
And,
back.
and again,
He
I
lost the
continue
first
saying it
round.
was very smart because Cutelaba, when the going gets tough, man, this guy will start swinging wildly. So even though
Yeah, dude.
Cutelaba was back against the cage, he's still dangerous, man.
He's
He
still
was hurt,
dangerous.
but he's still dangerous. We've seen it before, right? So
Mhm.
props to Nzechukwu, man. I thought it was a masterful performance. Really nice.
Yeah, really, really fun win for him. I thought it was sick.
Yeah, and I mean, quite honestly, that's probably going to be the fastest we ever cover a main event, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Unless it's like
You
someone
know,
blows the knee out. Actually, we probably
true.
spent more time on this than the Calvin Cater fight
I think we probably
against
spent 20 minutes on that.
yeah, maybe. No, it's
All
because it's
right.
like did he cause the injury or did just
I
talking
don't
about
know.
nothing?
But right now it's just like, yeah, it was good. But yeah, man, I'm ready to move on. Are you ready to go on to the next one? And
Yeah,
because it
man.
says quote unquote main event, I know.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Ramiro and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Goes a long way. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.